Jesus didn't just say ask and you'll receive. He gave you the exact condition that most everyone misses. Whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you shall have them. Mark 11:24. Most people who have read this verse on the surface or learned it in religion interpret it as ask God for something and hope that He gives it to you. But you see, there's still separation in that. God has it and you don't. And then you get caught up in believing that you have to do everything perfectly, that all things have to line up first, that you have to please God in order for you to be allowed to receive that and worthy and deserving to receive it. And that is not what Jesus said. Believing is often treated as blind faith or wishful thinking. Like you have to convince yourself that something might happen one day, hopefully, if I'm good enough, if I avoid enough sinful acts. And I've been there. I used to have those exact beliefs and thoughts. I would get down on my knees and pray and beg that God grants me the life that I know that I deserve, completely giving my power away to an outside source. And that is not what God wants for me or you. We're all very, very good at asking, but not the best at believing that we already have it so that we can actually receive it. If you're asking for something, you're reinforcing that you don't have it. And that goes against the verse because you're staying in a state of lack. The hoping and wishing that you've been doing keeps what you want in the future, and it never becomes real in your present experience. And that's why people get so frustrated with manifestation and letting their prayers be answered, because they're doing the action of asking, but they're not entering the state of the wish fulfilled. And you just can't receive something without feeling like you already have it. That's not how it works. What you put out is what you get back. So whatsoever things you desire, when you ask, believe that you have received it. That means you assume that it's already done right now. Not later, not someday, right now. It exists, currently, physically. And all you have to do is line up with the future version of you who already has it. And you can communicate with that future version of you, by the way. Because remember, there is no future. What seems like the future is also a part of your present moment. So start a conversation. How did you get to where you are right now, future self? How did you allow everything that I want to be and have to manifest in your life? What did you have to do? How did you start walking? How did you start talking and carrying yourself? What daily practices were you doing? What was your mindset that allowed it in? This is all about entering the state of the wish fulfilled and embodying it, feeling what it would feel like to have what it is that you are seeking when you are in prayer. Prayer is not just asking. It's believing in having what you have already asked for and moving in faith that it is so. And the best way to get into the state of the wish fulfilled is by using your imagination, because that is your creative power. When you feel it as real within, it must reflect outward in your outside reality, because you don't get what you want. You get what you already feel is yours. And that is truly what Jesus meant. I'll tell you, in my life, when I used to get down on my knees and pray the rosary endlessly for the things that I wanted, not believing that I had them currently, I felt alone. I felt abandoned. I felt like God wasn't listening to me, or like God couldn't hear me for some reason. It was a very disempowering feeling when I believed that some outside source had all the power and the keys to the kingdom of everything that I wanted, not realizing that the keys to the kingdom were already inside me, and that God was also. When I stopped forcing outcomes, stopped working so hard and feverishly like something was chasing me, that's when everything started to flow in my life. That's when I felt like the weight of the world was finally off of my shoulders. All I had to do was assume that I already was the version of myself that I wanted to become, because we don't actually have to become anything. We already are what we seek to become. It's already inside us. We just got to start peeling away the layers of the onion that have kept us from knowing and expressing who we really are. We don't have to find it. We don't have to search for it. We don't have to earn it or work for it. It's already our inherent birthright to express it. And then everything comes from that. Because when you truly finally allow yourself to express yourself unconditionally, then what you pray for comes to you naturally, because you're being the energy that you wish to attract. When I really shifted my mindset in my life from pushing and forcing to simply allowing, ideas, opportunities, connections, being at the right place at the right time, getting lucky, all started just being my natural state. It was what I started to experience. But it wasn't until I made the change within that the things without started to also change. People so desperately want the outside to change first in order to allow them to change on the inside. But the verse, Mark 11:24, says the exact opposite. We got to believe we already have and already are everything that we want to be and have. And then it will show up in our lives. Because the more that I started to feel like everything was starting to unfold naturally, it actually did. But I had to feel it first. The moment I stopped asking from lack, everything started to happen. And then I was inspired to the actions that correspond to what was happening, to allow me to continue moving forward. I didn't have to overthink it, overanalyze it, figure it out, fix myself. I just knew what actions to take because I was already in alignment with who I knew I was. I love you guys, man. So many of you are so much closer than you think to a completely different life where things just start to naturally unfold for you. Let this be the video that changes everything. Write Mark 11:24 across your forehead and live as if everything that you want is true. Stop asking for it and start living like it's already yours, because it is.